Johnny's a lot smoother than Gip. The rules for this evening's presentations seem particularly unfair as they relate to Gip. I was told him that people would stand in line to speak at his retirement because there are so many Gipper stories, most of which aren't very complimentary. As we look around the room this evening, there aren't too many here who haven't at one time or another been Gipperized. Retirement, however, needs to be a time of enjoyment and celebration. Events such as this are where we need to speak of the retirees' dependability, decorum, tact, tolerance, graciousness, and consistency. Unfortunately, Gip had none of that. As you know, decorum refers to propriety. Propriety in areas such as behavior, speech, and dress. Gip looks pretty good tonight. Obviously, Maud dressed him. Gip's always claimed that he was colorblind. Nobody ever argued. Even though he was quick to claim that disability when we made him change before going out, he never hesitated to select school uniforms when presented with various shades of green. Gip still maintains, why Christ, green's green. How about propriety and behavior? The really good stories will remain a secret out of respect to Maud. Of the dozens of stories I could tell, probably one event provides a good overview. Marlon and Sue used to have an annual winter party. Gip, who knocked Louise down? That's an inside joke, but basically Gip got a little overzealous dancing with Louise Shepherd. Make that the Reverend Louise Shepherd. Gip always enjoyed eating, especially after a few beers. At that same party, Gip happened upon the fondue. Gip's clothes already bore evidence of a full evening of eating. I'm not going to get through this one, Gip. He saw several of us standing around the table eating what looked like cheese on sticks. Gip loved cheese. He never had fondue. He grabbed a stick from the pot, not knowing that it was hot. He did like you do with a chicken wing. After letting out a yell and getting some cheese and grease dripping from his shirt, he meditated the wound with a little more beer. And walked around that evening with narrow but huge blisters on his He looked like a carp. Oh boy. As for propriety in speech, Gip brutalized the English language. He was Norm Crosby and Yogi Berra combined. Pat Doherty and I coached football with Gip at Weed Sport, and we were responsible for giving him the moniker Gip. Pat's now a school superintendent in Tioga, but one of his lasting memories of Gip came from a discussion they had about roofing Gip's garage. Pat's wife was expecting a child, and there were fears that she might not carry the baby to full term. Gip comforted Pat by saying, "Hell, I was born immature." Is there anyone here that hasn't left the conversation with Gip either wondering what he said, or shaking your head in disbelief over what he said? That leads into Gip's tact. You know, that keen sense of knowing what to say and do in a difficult or delicate situation. In the early 70s, there were few opportunities for girls in weed sport to participate in interscholastic athletics. Gip was coaching track the first year we added girls track, and at that time there was some concern over boys and girls practicing together. In school, parents and school officials were all sensitive to how the matter was handled, all except Gip. After making it through the season without a major incident, Gip got the microphone at the sports banquet. His comment that first year was, "Why, Christ, I had to stop telling my boys to go run abreast." For Gip's tolerance, I'll let you tell him about how understanding he was when he had to give up the elementary gym for the merry-go-round theater presentation. Regarding consistency, Gip was really mellowed over time. Before he had a smooth all-weather track, Gip had his athletes outside in all weather, running in mud, snow, and rain. Now, even with their Lycra tights, they stay indoors when it's below 50 degrees. He explains the change in philosophy to me, but for some reason, Mel Richardson, Roger Jordan, Doug Best, Steve Whiteman, Roger White, and many others aren't buying it. His boys with their names on the record boards know the coach is getting soft. He doesn't even pat women's butts anymore. The stories are never ending. I could tell you about the time Gip's lawnmower broke, so he borrowed mine. He just never bothered to tell me about it or to return it. Or when he accompanied his house and was surprised when someone wanted Manhattans, he called because he was out of vermouth. After getting to my house with a pitcher to mix drinks, he decided he also needed whiskey, ice, and cherry. Must have been a fun evening. He kept coming back. Gip just never seems to see things the way the rest of us do. When he and I were coaching, we spent Monday nights looking at our game films and then watching Monday Night Football. We usually had a few beers, and one night I fell asleep on his couch. To this day, Gip insists he was only being considerate when he turned off the TV and the lights and went upstairs to bed without waking me. He never thought it'd be a problem when I woke up at 3 a.m. in a strange, dark house. Later this evening, you might want to ask Linda about another time they were expecting company, and she came home to find Gip fully clothed and asleep in the bathtub. Or ask Sue Shepard about being left in Auburn. There are countless stories about the snow day card games, and ask Gip himself about those nights when he refereed. Yep, I've been kind. Because I haven't even mentioned any secrets. These stories are all pretty widely known, but unique to you. You are unique, one of a kind. Not only because of the things you've done to make us laugh, but because of all the things you've done. I know you're proud of your coaching record, and you should be. I also know that you've always believed that your legacy as a coach goes well beyond wins and losses. We chuckle as we listen to some of the things you said to your athletes, and at the same time, wish that our own children would have you as a coach. Your sense of humor, your perspective on life and sports, your devotion and commitment to the ideals of teamwork and hard work are all mirrored in your athletes. You love sports, all sports, and you love kids, all kids. You motivated youngsters and adults, and as the song goes, you did it your way. You established exceptional relationships with your players and their parents, while at the same time made it clear that their thoughts and opinions on coaching really didn't have a lot of bearing on you. You were fiercely loyal to your school and to those who supervised you. And above all, you were a teacher. Some uninformed or unaware people might think there's a difference between teaching and coaching. You always understood that there isn't. You taught what you coached when you coached, and you coached when you taught. You were a wonderful teacher. Your belief in the value and importance in physical education was evident throughout your teaching career. Your ability to work with children of all abilities was extraordinary. Most of all, I admire and respect you for your never-ending enthusiasm. After over 30 years, you continue to approach each school year, each season, and each child with the same excitement and enthusiasm as that of a first-year teacher or coach. My or anyone else's career would be considered a success if we could only learn the formula to your magic. You've always supported me and believed in me, and for that I thank you. You've been a valued colleague and a confidant, but most of all, you've been my friend. I'll miss you at school. My son and countless other children will miss you even more. Thanks, buddy, for everything.